Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Great War mod. We're playing as the Austrian-Hungarian Empire in World War I. Last time around we had the Ottoman crisis, which was averted by completely stomping them out and pushing them out of Europe. Completely taking them out, securing the region. Since then, we've actually signed ceasefire deals with both France and the Russians. The reason why we're back now is because the Russians, the Bolsheviks, have broken it, and they are on the offensive towards Königsberg. But before we go to the Eastern Front, we're going to go to the ceasefire, which is still in effect on the Western Front. We're going to take a look at some of the new units, and some of the really cool stuff over here. So we are gathering up troops for when hostilities open up with the French again. Down here we've got Oscar. He's got a light tank, and then he's got the heavier AW7 female tank, both of the machine gun. So he's got a lot of machine gun. Then he's got a standard. Okay, so there's a graphical bug here. Why will it show that for the infantry as well? No, it doesn't. For some reason, all the artillery. So we got light machine guns. We've got machine guns everywhere in this army. And then we've got some of the Jagdkommando troops. So assault battalions, 3 of them. All of these are actually set as assault battalions. So we got 3 rifle-carrying assault battalions. All of these guys got grenades as well. We've got trench gunners carrying a shotgun, and then the SMG kind having an SMG, the MP18, being able to spray down the enemy with a huge volume of fire at close range. They're gonna be assaulting Marseille, which we gave up to get that kind of ceasefire, just so I could rebuild my armies. Also, you might notice here, we've gotten the bomber now, so once hostilities open up again, we can bomb the French. We also have quite a few fighters on this side, and the enemies got quite a few planes as well, so hopefully we'll be able to shoot down quite a few of those. So we got one over there, we got one over here, and we've got another one over here. I even have another bomber plane up here next to Konrad von Hetzeldorf. Konrad von Hetzeldorf has a little bit of a different setup. He's actually got a male tank and female tank, and then you can see he's got some of the new guys like the light machine gun, Jagdkommando group. He doesn't actually have any submachine guns. What he does have is 3 Jagdkommando battalions, rifle carrying, and one trench gunner. So no submachine guns up here, which is a bit of an oversight. I don't know why I don't have a machine gun group up there. We've got more troops being recruited here, so they'll be able to send up and join. Before we head over to the Eastern Front to see what we're actually going to do today, we should go ahead and note that the Kaiser has died and has been replaced. So now it's Karl I who is in charge of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, as the old Kaiser has now died. And with that we can head further east. So Victor is on his way north. Hasn't really changed his setup more than we've added the new mounted infantry instead of the cavalry. Here's the fight we're gonna have today. Archduke Eugene of Austria is going to attack the Latvian region and cut off the Bolshevik advance towards Königsberg. So they have moved up, they've taken the supply depot over here. Mostly it seems that it's defected Imperial infantry, and they haven't switched uniforms. However, for the battle we're going to play today, which is going to be our advance and attack on Mittau in Latvia, all enemy troops are red troops, besides the Home Guard divisions. But before we go ahead and play that battle, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Moscow army. It's on the way. It started its march. So over here we've got 2 light tanks. We've got a light machine gun. We've got 1 Jagdkommando assault battalion. We've got 2 assault battalions, 1 rifle carrying and 1 submachine gun carrying, which is going to advance towards Petrograd, and hopefully we'll be able to end the Bolsheviks in no time. With all of that said, we're going to attack here. Pretty interesting army. We've got 4 units of Jagdkommando, we've got a tank, so it's going to be a lot of cool new units. And with that said, it's high time to attack. And there it is, our new wonder weapon, the tank. Got a machine gun up there, and yeah, all armored up. The enemies got barely anything to actually break through here. They've got some mortars. And I mean, it's going to be all but impregnable to all the rifle fire. They're going to have to fire a lot if they're going to try to break this down. Most likely it'd break down by mechanical issues rather than actually enemy fire. But the ground is open, so we should be able to have a smooth progress towards the enemy line. Let's take a look. What else do we have? New units. The elite infantry, these guys are new. However, I mean, there's not that much different compared to the normal units. Then I think the guys that you want to see, which is the Jagdkommando units. So we've got these guys with rifles. They do also have the ability to throw grenades. And you can see camo on some of their helmets to better disguise themselves. And then we've got the submachine gun carrying, so these guys carrying the MP-18 submachine gun. This guy is probably the best to take a look at that. So we got the MP-18 submachine gun ready to just hose down the enemy with a lot of fire. So what we're going to do is we're actually trying to assassinate the enemy general. Now they do have a machine gun right there, which is going to be a little bit troublesome for us. But I'm hoping that from this sort of the ground that we pick here, the most of the shots will miss us. And also I do have my artillery. Let's see there. This one will go ahead and fire directly on these guys as soon as we start. So I'm gonna open fire. I'm gonna bring back the engineers. We're gonna bring up the tank. It's gonna be followed by the 2 Feldjägers. Okay, we're not losing too bad. We're gonna get the submachine guns to advance here, and the other one's gonna go around. We've lost 30 men, which is kinda bad, but at the same time, my artillery has been able to strike down a lot of their machine guns. So the submachine gun guys are about to open fire here on the enemy general up there on the hill. Whenever you're ready, there we go. Started to spray down the enemy general. We've lost quite a few troops out of the Jagdkommando. Okay, now we need to brave the ridge to actually get submachine gun shots on the remainder there, and also down on the enemy over there. But it looks like the Jagdkommando attack has been successful. We didn't lose too much from the enemy machine gun fire. We need to advance a little bit further here. We don't have the range on the enemy. This should open fire at will. You should move closer over there. Get the submachine gun guys spraying down the enemy over here. The border guards being destroyed. The tank has now moved forward. And it's not actually firing. This is a bit why isn't it firing? Oh, it's the flamethrower units that are attacking the tanks. Where's my light troops? Okay, the tanks, for some reason the tanks do not fire and there's no ability for them. Is it melee tanks? I don't know. What is this? What is this madness? Light troops will advance while the tanks roll back home. Our wonder weapon wasn't as wonderful as I thought because it cannot fire, which is odd. Of course, this isn't the final version of 6.0. That's interesting. The submachine gun or the machine gun tanks don't seem to be working right now. We're gonna get the cavalry to move in. Okay, the submachine gun guys are out of range. Once you actually get them in range, though, them just soaking down the enemy with machine gun fire. Let's see how's it going for the tanks. Have they abandoned the tanks? Okay, the tanks have been abandoned. I don't know what happened there. We do have Bolshevik formations moving forward here, and I want to lure them onto the bombs. So we're gonna move our troops back to make sure that the enemy gets there. I do not know what happened with those tanks. Ooh, what happened here? Ah! Shit. That infantry regiment was utterly slaughtered by our own machine guns. And you can see the lines. Oh. Yeah, the best thing is probably always to keep the machine guns on not fire at will, and then once you actually have a target you want to destroy, that is when you enable their fire. That regiment was almost killed to the man because of that. Jagd Commando. Set them up a little bit better here on the hill. Let's see if we can't throw some grenades. We've got Latvian riflemen over there. I think these guys, if they walk onto the mines, they'll just explode entirely. So, completely just dying. Okay, we're gonna pull back a little bit further, drawing them onto those bombs. Damn, that was a big loss. And you can see the stripes where the machine gun has fired. So oh, there goes one of the bombs. And it annihilated that unit to the man. Let's see the second one. Do they want? They did not trigger the bomb. The bomb is right over there. But apparently they didn't trigger it. So these are the barrier troops. Getting blown to hell. Okay, so they didn't trigger the bomb. Shame about the tanks. Not entirely sure what the problem is there. We're gonna go ahead and blow up these riflemen. Mounted cavalry. Moving behind the enemy lines. And the thing is, at this point, the enemy has actually built up quite an arsenal of their own. So once we get to the French front, snipers. Once we get to the French front, we will actually see. Let's see if this submachine gun group can deal with them. I want to throw some grenades. See if they want to do that. Okay, now they're going to throw grenades. throw some more grenades in there. Maybe not the best to throw into the forest like that. A lot of the grenades are landing in the forest. And then submachine gun shots into that. Maybe it'll be easier to see where the grenades are going when they throw against the sniper group. Oh, here comes the grenades. And it actually looks like those stick grenades. That's pretty cool. Let's do another one, but this one time in slow motion. So maybe we'll actually see the grenade flying in the air. Okay, I'm gonna pause. And we're gonna actually take a look at the grenade. So that's one. Look how detailed that is. And there's no way, unless you actually do this, that you would ever see the kind of details as you can see right now. And even says something, some marking on it. But here comes the grenades. They can throw them really far though. They can throw them as far as they can shoot them. Let's go ahead and go to normal speed. Not super accurate against a small unit like this. How's it going for the other unit? They dealt with the Latvians. Oh, my cavalry has ended up in trouble with some home guard. They will retreat behind the ridge, they will dismount and then move into the attack. Okay, so the submachine guns, they've done their job. Now they're gonna go into the forest against the home guard. Still have some barrier troops fighting up here. Even though they're coming under such heavy fire that they're getting absolutely destroyed. Let's see the cavalry unit. Dismount. And then up on that ridge again. Forest fighting. A home guard tries its best to withstand, but I mean it's a submachine gun unit hiding there in the forest. They're not broken, but they're seemingly just running past the submachine gun unit. How about you throw some grenades? So they ran past them to attack the mounted cavalry on the hill instead. And now they're getting hit by grenades. We'll advance the submachine guns as close as we can. Sitting right in the back of these guys. Okay, it's okay. Just fired well. Pretty good grenade area as well. Go ahead and toss some grenades. Okay, not that great throwing them in the forest. You might actually blow up your own unit if you do that. Can I get the artillery to fire over here? Let's see, we do have another mounted cavalry unit. I can ride up somewhere along here. And I do have the guard unit. I can march up here. Such a shame about my tanks. I don't know what happened. Why they weren't working. It could be that imagine if none of my tanks work. That could be troublesome. Because I've recruited quite a few. Oh, now the enemy gave up. Let's get the Jagd Commando out of the forest. The Jagd Commando took quite a heavy loss in terms of manpower, but we killed a lot of our own as well. The 15th Regiment was almost entirely killed. 200 men was lost, and that's all friendly fire. So the friendly fire for this battle is going to be horrendous. Then clearly all the light tanks need to be filtered out of the units, because they're clearly not working. It's all bunch of home guards retreating. The submachine guns definitely did their job. The cavalry did well. Artillery as per usual. So I think the Jagd Commando definitely showed their skill in battle. Tanks not so much, because I don't know. Maybe I should have melee charged them. Maybe they would have started fire. I don't know what would have happened. But the battle is over. We are victorious, and we have now cut off the one of those armies attacking forwards towards Königsberg, and yeah, they cut off. Very nice. Here's the result of the battle. So we lost 500 men. 200 out of that is due to our own fire. So we would have gone closer to 274 if we hadn't killed all our own men. None of the enemy survives. We killed 2,351. In terms of actual numbers of kill, we've got field gun, but then we got the Jagd Commando SMG 300, and then just one of the rifle ones, getting 262. So Jagd Commando in top, followed by field guns. The engineers, of course, managed to detonate one of the bombs, blow up a unit. Mounted infantry, combat engineers, Tiroler Kaiserjäger. One of the machine guns managed to get 45. I imagine that's the same that actually team killed a lot of our own. Let's see, where do I have the tanks? I think I saw the tanks right there. There it is. Somehow the tank managed to get 35 kills, but I think that is because everyone in the town dies when you take it over, and the ones that are not actually killed by anyone in the actual battle, their sort of kills are distributed among the troops at the end. So we'll even see the general, I imagine. The general managed to get 35, so those kills were split over the entire army. But that was good. I can go ahead and liberate this nation. I wonder though if it isn't going to be the case with Germans to go ahead and declare war on it, and war with Germany would be bad, but at the same time I just love to have protectorates all over the place. We created Latvia, we forced the Bolshevik Navy out of port as well. So that's good. What do I get? I got a sniper unit and a normal infantry unit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move these guys up to the bridge just to stop them counterattacking. Which I doubt they will do, but who knows. We do have extra troops coming up. So this general with a lot of mounted infantry could go ahead. He's gonna right up there block the bridge. We've got a lot extra infantry just to back up our forces. Right now they're gonna move to this area right here. Maybe I could have sent the cavalry all the way. Yeah, I could actually send... Wait. Okay, I can't now because that unit is in the way on the road, but otherwise we could have almost actually supported them up all the way up there. Bit interesting there with the tanks. I have 2 tanks here. What I'll do is I'll go around, I'll test the tanks and we'll see how good they actually work. That's a big disappointment though, that they didn't work. They worked in the other version. I remember I did my German campaign. I had tanks that worked. They were melee charged, as I recall, because I drove them out without infantry support. I just thought they were gonna massacre everything, and it kind of ended up in quite the problem. With that said, however, we're gonna end the video right here. So even though we didn't get any tanks, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!